everyone, it's Jenna. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be decorating my kitchen and dining area for the holiday season. So we'll do a really fun table setup, and if you watched my last couple of holiday decorate with me's, you saw that I like to incorporate that subtle pop of burgundy throughout my space. So we're going to try to work that into the kitchen and dining area as well, so everything flows and feels cohesive. And my style is just to keep things really natural and rustic with, of course, those subtle pops of color. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to break down how I style everything step by step, so hopefully you can get some fun decorating inspiration for your own space this season. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first area that I wanted to start with was our dining table, and this is what we were left with after I cleared out all of the fall decor. And I always like to do something in this empty corner space to highlight the season. So I just popped this antique stool in there, and this helps to give the area some contrast and adds to that rustic feel. I also chose a stool because it's going to help add some height, and my plan was to put a little tree on top of it. But first we need a planter, so I used this handled vase, which I will link below, but I also have some videos on DIYing rustic vases as well. So to put in the planter, I'm going to use this Real Touch Norfolk pine tree that I picked up last year, and I love how lifelike this tree looks, and it's super easy to bend and shape, and I love the movement of it. So when I popped it in the planter, I noticed that it was just a tad too big, so I bent all of the branches down to cover it, and honestly, you could not even tell. I love how this tree looks in this corner. It really helps to break up the space since we have so much white going on, so I love the contrast that the vase and the stool give, and the lifelike greenery just helps to bring the feeling of the woodsy outdoors inside with that natural rustic feel. So next I wanted to do something to frame out our windows. So if you remember from my previous video, I showed you all this lifelike greenery at Michael's that's currently on sale for only $10. And this is one of my favorite budget-friendly garlands because it looks so lifelike, and it's really moldable and soft, so it won't scratch up your walls. So I just wrapped it around our curtain rod like I did in our bedroom, and this is seriously so easy to do, but it makes a really big impact and helps your space to feel really natural and festive at the same time. So once I had everything all draped and even, I decided I really wanted to do something in the middle of the garland to anchor it. And I was originally going to hang a wreath there, but I changed my mind and I decided I wanted to add a pop of color. So I went to Joann's and I found this gorgeous burgundy colored chiffon that was on sale for like $7.50 a yard. I ended up getting 3 yards, which totaled $23, which is typically cheaper than a wreath, so I was happy with that. So we are going to take this fabric and make it into a bow, which I have showed you all in past videos, but basically I just cut a little piece into the fabric and rip it all the rest of the way down. And I like to make my sections roughly 2 feet in thickness at least, so it can give the bow some nice volume. So I used 2 sections to make this bow. For the first one, I just folded the 2 sides, then met them in the middle on one of the strips, and then I used the other to tie a double knot down the middle. And that is it, a super easy way to get a luxurious, expensive looking bow. And from here, you can cut the ends into a V shape or leave them as is. I've also done this with discounted scrap fabric in the past, which is a lot cheaper, but this time I wanted this specific burgundy color. And basically I used an S-hook from Amazon to attach it to the curtain rod, and then to give it that full shape, I used some clear tape to secure it all into place. And I did that on both the ears and the ends of the bow. And I seriously love how this turned out. It looks so expensive and designer, but was really simple to do. I also love how it anchors the garland and provides that subtle pop of color. And then I decided I really wanted to get my money's worth out of this fabric, so I had just enough left to make a table runner. So again, I just ripped it down the center, and when you rip this chiffon fabric, it gives it that pretty frayed end, which I love. So I just laid out the fabric and scrunched it up to help give it some movement and layers, and then I used both strips of fabric and overlap them a little bit in the middle. And this is going to give us such a colorful and soft base for our greenery. And I love how it ties in the bow, helping the styling in this area to feel really cohesive. So for the greenery, I went with this Real Touch Norfolk pine to coordinate with our tree. And I love how realistic this stuff looks. It's also really soft and easy to lay flat, which makes it perfect for laying across something like a console table or a tablescape. So I just put the ends with the loop in the center and then covered it with fabric, and I did the same thing on both sides, and I ended up using 2 5-foot garlands, which was perfect. I also love to layer in brass accents when decorating for the holidays, so I used these mixed vintage candlestick holders that I've collected from thrift stores over the years, and I just love that subtle pop of brass that they give. And then something that I've always wanted to try out are flameless taper candles. So when I found these at HomeGoods, I figured it would be fun to give them a try this year. Each one takes 2 AA batteries, which was kind of a lot, but I thought it'd be nice to have these as almost an extra lighting situation in our dining room and just add to the ambiance throughout the season and not have to deal with an open flame. So honestly, this table setup would look really nice and elegant as is, but I wanted to layer in a couple more details. So if you all remember from last year, I got this pomegranate and apple bowl filler, and I loved the sugared effect, and I thought it would look really nice with our burgundy table runner. So I decided to just lay the pomegranates throughout the garland, and I think that these are a really fun and natural accent that make the tablescape feel festive and special, but still earthy and organic at the same time. They also help to layer in that subtle pop of color as well. And then to accent the color, I just wanted to balance it out a little bit with something more neutral. So I found these vintage inspired gold ornaments at HomeGoods, and I love the antique effect that they have. So it kind of helps to give off that old world feel. And I'm just going to do the same thing and place these throughout the garland. And I love the pop of gold and how it helps to warm up the space and makes it feel a little bit more elegant. So if you have some leftover ornaments, maybe putting them throughout your dining table garland can be a fun new way to use them. So when creating a tablescape, I obviously like it to be aesthetic, but also practical. So I like to layer in my everyday items and use them throughout the table as part of the design. So I'm going to use this stunning scalloped travertine bowl as a napkin holder, and sometimes I'll fan the napkins for a more upscale look. And this is just a simple and effortless way to get that designer feel in your space. And I also have these woven salt and pepper shakers that I use year round because they fit into any design scheme and they look pretty. And same thing with these gorgeous marble coasters. And I just love the convenience of having these always out on the table so they're within arm's reach, and it's nice that they help to add to the aesthetics of the tablescape. And that's really it for the dining area. There is one little spot that I like to decorate nearby, and that is our bar counter. And we usually use this space for drinks when we're entertaining, but I also like to add some decor here just to kind of zhuzh things up. So first I'm going to start off with this black iron tray. And this just helps to break up all of the light and bright that we have going on and adds a punch of contrast. And it also just looks really organized when you're styling several items together to use a tray. So next I'm going to add in this small rustic charcoal vase to again add some contrast, and then to pop in it I have these very realistic looking pine cone stems that I showed in my at-home holiday video, and I love the lifelike look of these, and the pine cones really help to add in that rustic feel that I'm going for, and I love the blue-green coloring on them. So to pop next to the stems, I'm going to use this gingerbread house cookie jar, and this is a holiday staple piece in my kitchen. This is what we use to hold all of our Christmas cookies and toffee, and I just love the classic neutral look of it. And if you all remember from last year, I did this little tutorial on how to paint these Christmas tree wine glasses with glass acrylic paint, and because this is our bar counter, I thought it'd be fun to use 2 of them in the display for Mike and I also popped a bottle of wine there as well, since a pizza and wine night is never far away. So next it was time to decorate the kitchen space, and I just wanted to make a couple of small seasonal changes. So I showed you all the sweet acorn ornament that I used on my cutting board in my at-home video, and then I went into our backyard and cut a little trimming from our Carolina sapphire tree just to tuck in the ornament and make it feel a little bit more rustic and gathered. And in my opinion, when styling a kitchen counter, greenery is a must. It just helps to break up all of the man-made materials in a kitchen, and it helps the space to feel more homey. So I just used this little tabletop tree that I found at HomeGoods this year, and I loved the wispiness of it and the blue-green color that it had. And then in this little empty space next to the tray, I like to keep a mini pitcher on hand. I found this ceramic one on Amazon, and it just really comes in handy when I need to add water to a dish or reserve some pasta water. And typically I keep this out here year round, but this year my husband actually made this adorable stackable cup snowman in our ceramics class. He actually made it to be like a sandman because we both grew up near the beach, and I love that I can still use this for grabbing water or whatever I need to do, but it still looks so cute and festive, and I also just love that Mike made it himself. So next I'm going to show you a super simple trick to dress up your utensil holder, and all you need is some ribbon. I got this really pretty burgundy one on Amazon, and then I just picked a little piece off of my garland from the dining table to use as an accent. And seriously, all I did was I tied the ribbon around the utensil crock, and then I stuck the greenery piece in there right before I pulled the bow tight. And how cute is that? It's just a really simple way to help your countertop feel more festive and elevated. And then if you remember from my at-home video, I found this stunning rustic pine cone wreath, and I just hung it over the top of my cabinets since I mainly use this cabinet for storage anyway. And I love how this instantly dresses up our kitchen, and it's an easy way to incorporate greenery into this space. So that's really it for the backsplash area, just a couple small swaps and additions for a more festive feel. And the last area that I wanted to style was our kitchen island. So first I started with this utensil crock that I found at the thrift store, and then I popped this little pine tree in it. And this is one of my favorite faux trees because I love the rustic feel of it and how it kind of just looks like I chopped it down right in the backyard. And then to accent the tree and give it kind of a more elevated foresty feel, I added in this iron reindeer that I found at Aldi, and this is just going to help add some height to my styling. And I love how the black ties into our pendant lights and the other black iron accents that we have going on throughout the space. And then to finish it all off, I found these cute gingerbread houses at home, so I picked up 2 of them, and I thought the kitchen island would be a perfect spot to put them. And I love how they give off a timeless neutral look and help our kitchen to feel elegant and festive at the same time. And that is it. I really love how our kitchen and dining area came together just by using some natural looking decor pieces, subtle pops of color, and lifelike faux greenery. We achieved an elevated, cozy, and designer feel perfect for entertaining this holiday season. Alright everyone, that about wraps up this video. I hope that you enjoyed this little holiday decorate with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help to support the channel. And be sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any future holiday content. And everything that can be linked from this video will be linked below in the description box. So check that if you have any questions about the products. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all are having a fabulous start to your holiday season so far. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!